Hello guys, today we are going to talk about the passive voice. When do I use it? Well, let's see. It is used when we want to focus attention on the person or thing affected by the action. To understand this use, I'm going to show you one sentence in active and the same then in passive voice. Active voice. Anders Celsius invented the centigrade thermometer. So Anders Celsius is the subject, invented the verb, and the centigrade thermometer the object. We are going to focus attention on the object. Now let's go to the passive voice sentence. The centigrade thermometer was invented by Anders Celsius. Do you see how the sentence was changed? Okay, well, let's continue. And the $1 billion question, when do I use passive voice? And here is the answer. When the author is unknown. The cave paintings of Lascaux were made in the Upper Old Stone Age. We don't know who made them. Do you? The actor is irrelevant. An experimental solar power plant will be built in the Australian desert. We are not interested in who is building it, right? You want to be vague about who is responsible. Mistakes were made, common in bureaucratic writing. Let's see, do you know any other kind of writing where you can find an example like this one? If you do, bring it to class. When you're talking about a general truth, rules are made to be broken by whomever and whenever. Does it sound familiar to you? Okay. When you want to emphasize the person or thing acted on, insulin was first discovered in 1921 by researchers at the University of Toronto. It is still the only treatment available for diabetes. And when you're writing in a scientific genre that traditionally relies on passive voice, the sodium hydroxide was dissolved in water. This solution was then titrated with hydrochloric acid. Wow, that was tough to pronounce. I had to practice like 3 times. But you see, dear students, you always learn new words and how to pronounce them. Let's continue. Forming the passive. Okay, there are many changes, and these changes you have to learn them by heart. But we are going to start with the sentence. So we have this example. Susan plays the piano. Susan, the subject, plays the verb in simple present, and the piano is the object. So first of all, move the subject to the end of the sentence and place by in front of it. Then move the object into the subject position. Change the main verb to a past participle and insert an appropriate form of verb be. The form of be will be defined by the tense of the sentence in active voice. Tenses and changes, I told you guys, this is something you have to learn by heart. First of all, you have to recognize the active voice sentence and its tense, and then you have to change, or you have to make the changes from the active to the passive. There is no other rule that learn the tenses and remember the changes. So I'll leave you here this chart, but there are many other examples you can find. Remember, practice and memorize. Well, and just to finish, a little quiz. What is always present in a passive voice sentence? Do you remember? Did you notice it? Well, if you didn't, go back and check that again. If you did, excellent. bring the examples to class. Can you bring to class more examples using the passive voice? I'm sure you're going to find many cases where you can find more examples, where you can create more examples. So be creative. Make up sentences, make up situations. I don't care. What I really care is to you using the passive voice and understanding when to use them. Then I leave you here this video music. It is in YouTube, and I am sure that you're going to love it. It's a Selena Gomez video, so maybe you know it. And can you identify the sentences in passive voice? Well, I'll leave you also this link to the lyrics, okay? Well, guys, love you. Thank you for listening and watching, and see you in class. Before I go, let's read this short and fun message. It says, "It never has occurred." I'm saying this in the passive voice to avoid taking any personal responsibility. Does it seem familiar to you? Maybe when your brother or sister take things from you without asking? Well, we'll check that in class. Bye.